move on here. I've been playing a lot of Across the Obelisk, and I've had a lot of difficulty finding team comps that I as a good but not great player could take all the way to the final boss and defeat the final boss. So this is my attempt to fill that void. So this is a team that I won at Madness 13 on, and I think it could easily go higher than that. Though the, there are some things that I didn't particularly like about this setup. So anyway, this is a team that was Scrage had a video for. I'll put the link for that in the description. And so let me just, what I'll be doing for this video first, I'll provide a high level walk through the team, and then we'll do a combat. And during the combat, I'll talk about the equipment. Once the combat's over, I'll go through the cards, the perks, the traits, and then I'll go back and to Act 1, walk through my deck there, and then Act 2, walk through my deck there. So here we go. So high level, Zek is the tank and also damage dealer. Ottis is Ottis. He provides lots of shield and healing. Wilbur is primarily damage dealer, and then Bree is on round 2 does a tremendous amount of melee damage. Okay, so let's get into the battle. So I'll talk about this in just a second, but we're not going to do anything. We're almost there at the end. Okay, so Bree is a damage dealer in this comp. That was what Scrag did. I personally would have preferred her to provide block because now we're gonna have it pummel. As I said, second round, she does a tremendous amount of damage. But generally by the second round, we've got things well under control. But we take just a huge amount of damage after this. So we're gonna do battle cat, and okay, just go through her gear. She has an icebreaker. We picked this up in the armory in Act 2. Cloak of Speed. Just pick this up around the place. Aquamarine bracelet. This is really nice. Just picked it up around the place. And then the starting Frostbanner, which this is, not really necessary with Cloak of Speed, but after I got the Cloak of Speed, I never found an accessory that I wanted to use. So now we're going to get smeared. So let's go back and look right here at the end. Stampede got activated by Bree, and you can see, 12 on 10, Dark Knight on 10, 24 on Oddball on Dark Knight, which, not the greatest thing in the world. I didn't really particularly like it. Okay, so Wilbur is a damage dealer, and so what we're going to do normally. So I was very lucky to get this, I believe in Act 2, Corrupted Winter Nighttail. And this has just been great for this build. So what I normally do is, this is normally not in my hand, so I'll play Bookworm, and then draw this, and then I'll start playing that. As I don't have a Bookworm, I'll go ahead and do Winter Night's Tale, and I'll ignore the Frostbow. Okay, because I have Scholar, it reduces the cost of one of the cards in my hand. So these are, I'm going to see if I can get a better card than these. So I'll play that. We're going to go for Shatter. And we'll get 6 expensive Ray of Frost. Reduces the cost, and then, So, talking through this. Freezing Ink, as you can see, we've been popping on the damage here, the chills. So every time I play a book, we do the chill, does do damage. Got a gladiator helmet to increase my damage. The one to do this, and this is the invisibility at first is kind of nice because we don't want him getting hit directly, attacked directly. So he is, so he was shielded there. There was one attack. Go back here. Catapult is attacks the middle hero because Wilbur and Ottis were invisible. They didn't get attacked, so they were not direct damage because of that. So then Dimensional Crystal, just get this for killing the guys at the Rift. This has been very, very nice. And then Chumpy, corrupted him. When I get to my discussion round 2, I had to choose one of my pets to corrupt, and I picked Chumpy, so that he provides downpour every turn, and then downpour. I've got the perk so that he wet increases damage from lightning and cold damage. So this his throwing out that increases no matter what amount of damage that we're going to do. Okay, so now because I have a Dimensional Crystal, I want to play a spell that I want to play twice. So like if I were to have Rain, I wouldn't play Rain on the first turn. I would play some, a high damage spell, and then after I do that, I play Rain. So we're going to do a shadow. Okay. First. Whack all those guys. Bicycle barrage. And then equivalent exchange. We're gonna give that to. That's really nice because it's always free energy to somebody. It's very nice having it in my starting hand. And Bookworm, like I said, normally I'm using that to get that Wintry Nights. So finish that. Now we're on to Zek. Okay, Zek. Eldritch Wand, Yawn. Not a very good weapon, but it's what it is. We're doing cold damage, so that's what we do. Pursuiter Helmet. This is picked this up just random spot, and again he's up front, so he gets a lot of damage. So we wanted him there to get it. This one, getting the armory, increase our our chill and our cold damage. Dimensional Crystal, picked us up the Rift after I think defeated the third group of roof guys. I got a second one, so I corrupted this one. And then I've got Daily, who casts Card Launcher. Now, in Scrage, when he was doing this run, he had Zek intentionally boosting his chill as much as possible, and then playing the Yellow Frost Nova to do as much crack on here. Let's just cards. Frost Nova. So this one here, so we apply chill based on your own choices. So you would go for blue icicles and then blue icicle barrages to increase your on Zek the amount of chill on him, and then cast the yellow and do it. I was getting squalls as rewards, and so I went with squalls, and I'm doing that. So I really moved away from that self-chilling on Zek to focus on there. So I'm going to do that's Embrace. I'm going to do Vampire Tutor, see if we get something good. Oh, Winter Orb. Okay. So this is a case that Rain would buff our damage, but we're not going to do it first. We're going to do our Dimensional Crystal first, our Winter Orb first. Okay, now we're going to do the cards that will buff our damage. Okay, we don't need to do the manage yet. Then we got Ottis. Okay. Ottis, Dream Sphere, reduce the cost of cards. So I think it reduces the cost of Protected Evil in this case. Night Veil, So then just pick when hit, we get a an invisibility, which is nice. Just to keep him from being directly targeted. Shiso Ring, just pick that up. Dreamcatcher, just pick that up. And then Orby. Alright. So in Scrage's run, he got a chalice that would give him +1 to bless, and then we have the perk that whenever you apply courage, you apply bless. So if I had that, so that would do. So like you can see, right now, Wilbur has the bless. Toss it out there. We do. Oh, I'm sorry. So we had an item that we picked up at the Armory in Act 2, Paladin Gauntlets. So when you apply courage, you apply 1 buff. But what happened was I'm taking so much, because Bree does not apply block in her opening a round. I was taking so much damage that I really had to, I wanted to get these big shield cards, because that's how I was doing my healing. And so it really didn't work well with providing courage to provide bless. So if I would, so we'll do that, and boom, we recover a whole lot of life. With our vitalities, we're now doing pretty good. Clarity, we're gonna toss that debris, and then we're gonna clear up that, and then we're gonna get smacked some more. And again, if we had picked up the thorns as a corruption option, we would have been taking a lot more damage. All right, now we have this. We get to see Bree just. So, reason for round 2 for Bree is we want to have the crack damage. We want to have, lots of crack put on these guys. So, we'll just do pummel. Boom! He's gone. Pummel. He's gone. What we got? And so it's like, yay, woo, Bree's doing all this damage, but really, we're doing pretty well. We're gonna do quite a bit of damage. All on our own. Alright, we'll play Soul Harvest. There's some rain. I've got 10. So Winter Orb. I've got Cold Snap, which is pretty awesome. We'll go ahead and pick up Squall and Winter Orb. So that's 74. Where's that 85? We'll do one more time. Yeah, we'll just kind of go through this. So that's what combat looks like with this team. So I'll just kind of walk through things. Zach, I've already talked about the so level and traits, just down the right side. Back to the deck. Dark Ritual. Zek has a trait that at the start of your turn, for every 8 dark you have, reduce the cost of the cards in your hand by 1 until they're discarded. So we want to get a fair amount of dark. So Dark Ritual is yes, we suffer damage, but then we get dark, but that reduces our cost of our cards in round 2. We generally want to wipe things out in round 2. Frost Nova, like I said, in Scrage, he had a yellow Frost Nova, you know, but I was not getting icicles. I was getting Squall, so I really was going with Squall. Shatter is very nice. It really for setting up Bree for round 2. So there we go. That's the deck. Ottis. Here we go. The pretty straight. Like I said, I went for the really kind of the high value shield cards in order to get a lot of shield, more than I could get with just prayer protections. And Scrage, you know, Scrage had, you know, several infused courage, and they were not providing for me enough healing to the team and shielding for the team. So this is the cards I ended up with. Wilbur, I went, normally I try and keep things at 15. Zach had a couple, like, you know, the minimum number, but Wilbur had such good cards. I didn't really use replenishment. Probably could have just dropped that out. Skillful, yeah, not a big use. Twin Scrolls is very nice in terms of how I could, you know, reduce my down, you know, like maybe get a 0-cost card from Van Berry Tutor, or reduce the cost down from a card like Shatter down to, you know, 2 or 1, and then pass that over to Zach. So that was a very nice card to have. So, and then Bree, battle shouts, demoralizing shouts, but again, you know, lots of pummels and pommels. This is it. I mean, I found 1 pummel as a reward during my time. Like Scrage has had a, you know, huge deck for Bree with lots of pummels, lots of enrage. I forget the card that, you know, you cost 1, do an attack, and then draw a card. Didn't see any of those. Change weapon. This was just a useless card. I really didn't use it. Overpower, didn't really use it. Should have just had skills for these, run those 2 cards. But, you know, just repetition training is really important, because then that allows you to play another pummel. Just not impressed by Stampede. Unforgiving Nature was really good. But, you know, you're basically, you get with Bree, you get 1 round of tremendous damage, and then otherwise, and it has to be in round 2. Otherwise, she's just not very useful. Now, in Scrage's run, he got a mirror. He bought a mirror so that he could then make copies of Unforgiving Nature, and just so Bree could have infinite number of really high damage rounds. But, you know, I was not so lucky. So, talk about perks. I'll do in the description. I'll do the import, so you can see where Zach, all health, all resistance. 4, put a reinforce on here to begin, and then fortify. Really don't know why this is here. Really not very useful. He didn't have a guard to block. So this is to provide a, you know, reinforce, because I mean, like first turn he just gets smacked like crazy. So you want to have reinforce to try and reduce that amount of damage. Elemental. See, here we go. Inspire. Mystical, and then we want to try and build up his dark as much as possible, and then it explodes at 38. So we, you know, want it to be as high as possible. So if we're fighting a dark team and they put dark on him also, you know, hopefully he doesn't explode on him. Okay. Ottis perks. all resistance. You know, some buffer, elemental. I don't think I've ever applied wet. And then, you know, lots of shield, spire, mystical. And then here we go, Vitality in Heroes, and doesn't allow charges to start a turn. Regeneration, wasn't doing much regeneration. Bless on heroes, and do not lose charges in a turn. So don't know if that's really critical, because like what happens, I mean, I won most combats during round 2. So he would put bless on you at the end of round 1, and then you would just have round 2, you'd wipe out the rest of the guys, or you know, maybe just one guy would be left. And then so to not lose the charges, you only have typically one round where you actually have the charges on you. Okay, Wilbur, perks. Again, high resistance, elemental. So here is wet on enemies, increase the cold damage taken per charge. It's very vital. Another inspire, mystical. Regeneration of heroes, and regeneration was just not important. You know, if I go back to Wilbur, none of my cards apply regeneration. So we get debris, perks. Again, just like everybody else, max resistances, crystals. She is extra slow. Mark, we had intimidate early, and then it went away. And then you can see she's doing a lot of damage, and then she has vulnerable plus extra charges. I don't have anybody on the team that vulnerable increases the maximum charge of vulnerable, you know, which is, but typically we were not applying a lot of vulnerable. I didn't get much. We have house and for rewards, and then another inspire, a mystical. It's a heart, which we use for our battle shout. So that covers. Okay, just little traits. Unforgiving nature, that made her combat work. Tactician, that's always great, reducing that. Stampede, I was not impressed, but if you're not going for shield, for block, then Command and Conquer doesn't make any sense. And then Tireless. Wilbur, all down the right hand side. Ottis, all down the right hand side. Zach, all down the right hand side. Okay. Okay. Let's look at our starting decks. One Cold Snap, and Cold Snap's just fantastic. So the 2 Dark Rituals, Train Life, yeah, it was, you know, starting deck, Crossboats, you know, try and get rain, Shadow Bolt, you know, it was in our starting deck. Icicle, again, we would, if you're going to go for the self chill, you'd want to make these blue. Ottis, infused courage, upgraded those. Pairs of protection, healing rain. So yeah, this is where the go back to our perks. This guy here is to increase those for this healing rain. So we're just putting wood on to increase damage. Wilbur, again, shatter is very important. Yellow shatter is very important to set up Bree. Did not go with Yellow Shatter with Zach. Probably would have been better to have Yellow Shatter with Zach than with Wilbur, because we'll have more cold applied, more chill applied with Zach than with Wilbur. And then Bree, a couple Bounding Shouts, helping, I guess 4 Intimidates. And then lots of pommels. Really, Bree is just, yeah, that's these cards are value, that card's are value, that's a value, but she just doesn't do enough damage to be of any value. You know, once she gets Unforgiving Nature, she can do some more damage. You know, once she gets the weapon from the armory, she can do more damage, but she really needs to be taken up. So what you're looking for in your Act 1 map is this Eldritch Rift, the Hatch, and the Eldritch Rift. So try and get you know, the item that allows you to get the additional cast a spell a second time. Come down here, get Moon Ritual, and then get your the ring that increases your speed, and then come up here to Yelmer. All right. Well, let's go to Act 2. See what the team looks like in Act 2. Zach. Gold Snap's now yellow. Again, like I said, I got a lot of spalls. Rains. Still have a Shadow Bolt hanging out, just because I haven't been able to get anything good. I didn't get any icicles or anything like that, so kind of went with the squalls. Ottis. And there you go. Wilbur. I got a Corrupted Winter Orb, really nice. 3 Ground Slam. Ground Slam Unforgiving Nature is very nice. Picked up a second Piercing Howl and got a Pummel, but you know, just you know, the problem with Ground Slam is it takes, you know, a lot of your energy, you know. So if I'm doing a Battle Shout and say Piercing Howl in the first round, you know, in the Standard Bearer, just not a lot of, you know, you might, if I came in and I started with, you know, 4 energy in round 2, play an Unforgiving Nature, that leaves me 3, so I can do 1 Ground Slam, which hurts everybody, but it doesn't really do, you know, it doesn't significantly hurt anyone. Or I can do a Ground Slam and a Pummel, and again, it hurts one guy, but not hugely. I mean, she just isn't really a lot of value. So we got the Unlucky Trainer, which worked out nicely because we can go here. Beggars at the Gate, give the woman 200, so she'll unlock the armory. Come here. So had the Eldritch Rift and the Unlucky Trainer. So that was a very nice combination. So by doing that, we can come here, Unlucky Trainer to corrupt one of the pets. Boom, 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 up to here, there. Eldritch Rift, come over here, and then once we win the Elven Armory and pick up the items there, that's when the team really starts winning in round 2s and just really doing well. So boom, like this guy here had 2 captains. I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible, but no, I was able to win very easily with my team doing that. So that's Gunther Bovine. I hope that was helpful to you. Out.